So in this video, we're gonna talk about Sugarland, la tierra del azúcar. Sugarland, Texas. We're gonna talk today about the main roads that are in Sugarland, the landmarks in Sugarland. We're gonna talk about a place that it looks like is not in Sugarland, so make sure to stay until the end.
Yeah, Sugarland's such a great place to live. It is a very, very popular city, and it's been popular for a very, very long time. For decades and decades, people were like, hey, I don't want to live downtown Houston anymore. I want to live in a really nice special suburb. They go to Sugarland.
Yeah.
Now, Sugarland gets its name because they used to have a sugar refinery out here,
a
big one, and they used to basically make sugar.
Exactly.
So that actually kind of leads us, if you want to look at the map real quick, to one of the first things I like to show people about Sugarland, where that refinery is. And the reason that's a really cool thing to look at first is because that's going to lead us to one of our first really cool things that make Sugarland special. Right here, you're going to see where it says Fort Bend's Children's Discovery Center. That right here is where we have one of our biggest, or used to be, big sugar refinery. I'm gonna circle it for you guys right here. So right here is where the Sugarland refinery used to be, but now they've converted it into basically a children's museum where they have a lot of really cool activities. So they've kind of repurposed that factory and made it really, really cool for kids to have fun.
Yeah, and it's also actually really cool because inside the Discovery Center, there are certain places where it shows you the history of Sugarland.
Sugarland, exactly. Yeah. But that's not it. Yeah. There's more to this area. And we're starting off really hot with why Sugarland's such a cool place to live. So right next to where the sugar factory is that we just talked about, you see this really cool little space surrounded by water. This is really, really cool place about Sugarland, specifically right here where it says Constellation Field. Constellation Field is?
That is like a mini Astros team.
Exactly. It's the Sugarland Space Cowboys, which is it's the Astros affiliate team. Space Cowboys, they play all the time. It's a beautiful, beautiful stadium. They have a lot of cool events for kids. They actually, on Christmas, they do this really cool thing where they convert the entire baseball field into this light show for Christmas. It's a lot of fun. Really cool place to bring your kids if they love baseball. But also sometimes, Astros players are injured or they need some more reps, and they bring them down to a minor league to get some reps in. You'll see a lot of big names for our major team here, the Astros, play games here as a Space Cowboy. Actually, as a matter of fact, Justin Verlander was pitching there recently. It's a really, really cool thing. So right off the bat, there's two cool things about Sugarland.
Yeah, and you can see in the map, like so many parks that are so close to the hub that we're talking about right now. So many, like City Park, Skate Park, the Imperial Neighborhood Park. Yeah, a lot of parks.
Yeah, let's talk about parks for a sec, because I think Sugarland does have some really cool parks. Right here, I lived in Sugarland for a very long time. I love this place. Right here is a really underrated park. Right here where there is this little Cullion Park out here. If you mark it right here with you guys with the pen tool, it's right next to the private airport. So right here below this is a private airport for Sugarland, because there's a lot of wealthy people who live at Sugarland. Enough wealthy people that they decided, let's just build a small airport here for them. And so it's a really cool place to see airplanes take off or jets come in and out. It's really nice. And it's not really big commercial airplanes. This is a smaller airplane. But all of this is a giant park and a giant, just a really cool place to explore and wonder and just kind of see what's out there. And there's a big lake out here. A lot of really cool parks, but there's also two parks that are not on here that we're about to show you in Sugarland that I think are the better parks in Sugarland. So before we do that, I'm back up and show you where Sugarland is in respect to Houston itself. So right here, we have this giant diagonal road right here where it says Sugarland. You see this diagonal road. We call that 59/69. It has two different names, but 5969, I call it 59 because I've always called it 59. Now you'll see that Sugarland is southwest of Houston, of downtown Houston. How long do you think that drive would take you to get to downtown?
I would say 45 minutes.
Yeah, with traffic, 35-45 minutes. Without traffic, you're getting there in like 20-25 minutes. It's not too crazy of a drive. Now, I will say this, if you're not from Texas, and you're from, let's just say like New York or New Jersey, that feels like a long time.
Yeah.
But for Texans and for Houston people, like if you get
It's
30 minutes is like nothing to us. It's probably the equivalent of like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because so many people drive here, we're just so used to it. Sugar Land, now a really interesting thing about Sugar Land itself is that a lot of people say Houston is not a walkable city.
Yeah.
Meaning there's no place that you just go out and walk and feel really cool about that. But Sugar Land is a little bit walkable. Maybe not from where you live, but there are plenty of really good places to walk. And I mentioned the parks. So here are the two parks I wanted to bring up that are really cool. And then I'll mention like an actual like commercial place to walk that I think is really fun. So
this one for me, I love this one. Brazos River Park, Brazos State Park is a really cool spot for camping, for activities for the kids and adults. There is an observatory there, the George Brown Observatory.
There is an observatory for veterans out there.
Yeah, that observatory, like a second place from NASA.
Yes.
That they have over there. And it's a really cool spot to go on the weekends and explore. It's very nice.
Also, really, really big dog park is in that park, which is really, really cool. But Oyster Creek Park, which you're going to see right here to the right, that is like the cool park, the famous park. It's a giant loop where if you walk like a walking trail, you can, you know, run miles and stuff. But it's just a really cool park for people on Highway 6, which I'm about to bring up, that like to go to there because it's really chill, really relaxed, really safe, well-lit park. You see a lot of people out there. I remember, and this is going to sound really geeky of me, but you know, 6 or 7 years ago, whenever the big Pokemon Go craze was going out, that's the park where I would go with Pokemon Go. And there's literally thousands of people at that park because it's just a really cool little fun park. But I want to prove to you that Sugar Land is a little bit walkable because we have a really cool town center. Now, in Houston, we have a bunch of suburbs and a bunch of cities, right? And we have so many suburbs that we try to create little mini downtowns per city. So a lot of the times you'll see them not called downtown, you'll see them called town centers, or centers, or city centers, or town squares, or stuff like that. So we have in Sugar Land, we have one of those right here on Highway 6 and 59. So 59 is the major road that gets you from downtown to Sugar Land all the way down to the border, really. And then Highway 6 is the one that kind of goes through all of the suburbs and areas. So right here where it says First Colony Mall, right here to the bottom left corner, there's First Colony Mall. Right there is our town center, or our city center. And what you're going to find there is a lot of shopping, a lot of restaurants. It's a city hall. You'll see our city hall there too. A lot of shopping, a lot of good restaurants. Right on the other side here, you'll see one of the best things I like about real estate. Whenever you can find something close to a Target, you know you're doing really good. So there is a Target right there, and a Whole Foods. One of the best sushi restaurants in all of Houston right here. So Japaneros is like, is it Colombian or Venezuelan? I think it's Venezuelan Japanese combo, but don't let that take you away from how good the sushi is. The sushi is so good. As I've known people who come from Japan, eat there, and had really good things to say about it, and I've always loved it. So that's a really good restaurant I would recommend there.
Exactly.
A lot of really cool attractions, and the town hall has a lot of really cool activities too for people.
Yeah, definitely. So not too far from there is this place that is magic. It's magical. I don't even know how to pronounce that place. So you can read it on the screen. I'm not gonna make that mistake about pronouncing that name, but you can see that this is a place where you have to go. If you come to Sugar Land, you have to visit that place. It's just magical. You will see in the video, the pictures that we're showing you. This is a place that if you come to Sugar Land, you definitely have to go and see by yourself. So it's nothing that I can explain it myself. You have to go and see it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and that's really a testament to the people who live in Sugar Land. Now, something that I like about Sugar Land is the people of Sugar Land love to protect the value of Sugar Land. And here's what I mean by that. You'll see a lot of, first of all, you see property values grow all the time in Sugar Land, but you'll see them really invest in modernizing the city as they move on, and really invest in making not just the place a really cool place to shop, a really good place to eat, like most places do. Sugar Land invests in other things like the Mandir area that you're talking about, but also really cool places like we have our own natural museum here, natural science museum here in Sugar Land right here. So by the neighborhood Tel Fair, very popular neighborhood. We have our own Houston Museum out there of natural science. Usually you see that in the big city, in the downtown of the big city. And if you see one of those, if you see a museum in a small town or a small city, they're not like this really all-out science museums. They're normally like, you know, the history of Sugar Land Museum, where you see like a little train and stuff like that. No, this is an all-out, high-level museum, the same as you would see in the downtown. It's really, really well. And it's also, just so you know, just because I want to show it off, it's also right next to a cool Costco.
Yes.
A lot of really good Costco.
Yeah, and I would like to say that in that museum in Sugar Land, because it's close where we live, where I live, by the way. There are so many activities too for kids, but it's incredible that you can go to the museums, and sometimes I think it's once a month there is like Latin music night. You can reserve the location to do your own activities. In Christmas time they have a lot of activities too, and trick and treats.
Yeah,
in October. Yeah, all kind of things.
Yeah, Sugar Land's beautiful, and we do have a lot of activities. So let's talk about a little about the neighborhoods and type of stuff out here. So Sugar Land kind of goes a little bit up here, down through here. You see this 99 road right through here. It cuts through Greatwood. Actually, technically Greatwood's included. Yeah. Out to the bottom over here. So
it's very close to Richmond, in the limits of the city of Richmond.
Yeah, so it's right up against Richmond, it's right up against Stafford, right up against Missouri City. Richmond kind of wraps up here on top. It's a really big place, a lot of really cool suburb neighborhoods, big neighborhoods, really that cater to all kinds of price points. So really fantastic thing about Sugar Land is you'll see different price points all the way in the multi-millions, and I don't mean multi-millions like how it's stereotypical see in California, New Jersey, where it's a small little house. Yeah, we're talking about big mansions with lots of land, but also really good affordable stuff that probably in the high 2s and mid 300s for growing family, first-time home buyers. Really, the Sugar Land caters to just about any type of price point, making it accessible for everybody to enjoy. And that's part of what we love about Sugar Land and why Sugar Land's a really good hot spot. It's definitely now, the kind of people that live in Sugar Land, or kind of jobs that people live in Sugar Land, are all over the place. You'll see people that are doctors, medical center related people, a lot of people in business, Amazon people kind of work out here a lot. A lot of the oil and gas industry has a lot of people that live in the Sugar Land that work from there. Retail, tech. So there's no one demographic that runs Sugar Land as far as job is concerned. And I think that's really important because it helps keep the economy of a city going. Yeah. So if let's just say one industry isn't doing that well and they're having a lot of layoffs, it doesn't ruin the entire city as a result. And I know people don't really think about that in those terms, but as realtors, we think about those types of things. And that's why we think Sugar Land is really special, and kind of why it's preserved its high-end value over the span of several decades. We hope you enjoyed these videos as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. If you have a city in mind that you would like us to visit and show you and give us our honest opinion, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help. Yeah, and of course, we could talk for hours about Sugar Land and all the small things it has to offer. So if you think Sugar Land is something you're interested in learning more of or really wanting to move to, we're happy to do one of these Google Map things one-on-one with you guys, and even down to the coffee shop, because there's a really cool coffee shop in Sugar Land, what we recommend and why we think we like it. Reach out to us, but otherwise we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.